Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by green fields and tall mountains, there lived a woman named Sarah. Sarah was known throughout the village as a kind and loving person, always ready to lend a helping hand. She was married to a farmer named Tom, who worked hard every day to grow crops and take care of their land. Sarah and Tom lived in a small, cozy house with a thatch roof and a little garden in the front. Every morning, Sarah would wake up before the sun rose. She would quietly get out of bed, careful not to wake Tom, and start her day by lighting the fire in the kitchen. She prepared a warm breakfast for Tom, knowing he had a long day of work ahead of him. Tom was a strong and hard-working man, but the life of a farmer was not easy. He spent his days plowing the fields, planting seeds, and tending to the crops. Despite the challenges, Tom never complained, because he knew that Sarah was always there to support him. When Tom sat down for breakfast, Sarah would serve him with a smile, asking about his plans for the day. Sarah made sure that Tom had a hearty meal to keep him strong during his work. She packed a simple lunch for him to take to the fields, often including a piece of freshly baked bread and some fruit from their garden. Before Tom left, Sarah would kiss him on the cheek and say, "Take care, my love. I'll be here when you come home." While Tom was away, Sarah took care of everything at home. She cleaned the house, tended to the garden, and made sure everything was in order. The villagers often saw Sarah working in the garden, picking vegetables or watering the flowers. They admired her for her dedication and the way she always kept their home beautiful. Sarah also found time to help her neighbors. If someone was sick, she would bring them soup. If a friend needed help with their chores, Sarah would offer her assistance without hesitation. Everyone in the village knew they could count on her, and they often said, "Sarah is not just a good wife, but a good friend to all." One year, the weather was harsh, and the crops did not grow as well as they usually did. Tom came home one evening looking worried. He told Sarah that the harvest might not be enough to get them through the winter. Sarah listened carefully and then said, "Don't worry, Tom, we will find a way to manage. We'll face this together." Sarah's words comforted Tom, and he felt a little better. The next day, while Tom was out in the fields, Sarah thought of ways she could help. She decided to take some of the vegetables from their garden to the market to sell. Although it wasn't much, Sarah knew that every little bit would help. At the market, Sarah set up a small stall and laid out the vegetables neatly. She greeted everyone who passed by with a warm smile. People from the village stopped to buy from her, not only because the vegetables were fresh but also because they respected and liked Sarah. By the end of the day, she had sold everything she brought and earned a little money. With the money she earned, Sarah bought some flour and other necessities. She started baking bread and making clothes to sell at the market. Sarah worked late into the night, sewing and baking, determined to support Tom in any way she could. She knew that if they both worked hard, they could get through the difficult times. Tom noticed how much effort Sarah was putting in and felt deeply grateful. He knew that without Sarah's help, things would have been much harder. Each day, when Tom came home tired from the fields, Sarah welcomed him with a warm meal and kind words. Her love gave him the strength to keep going. As the months passed, things slowly began to improve. The crops started to grow better, and the money Sarah earned from her work helped them buy what they needed. Even during the toughest days, Sarah and Tom never lost hope because they had each other to rely on. Their bond grew stronger with every challenge they faced together. One evening, as they sat by the fire, Tom took Sarah's hand and said, "I'm the luckiest man in the world to have you by my side. You are not just a good wife, but my partner in everything." Sarah smiled and squeezed his hand, feeling the same way about Tom. They knew that their love and teamwork made them strong. Sarah continued to care for Tom and their home with the same love and dedication as always. She never stopped finding ways to make their life better, whether it was by learning new skills, helping a neighbor, or simply being there for Tom when he needed her. Her kindness touched everyone around her. The villagers often spoke of Sarah and Tom, saying, "They are the perfect example of what a true partnership should be. They face every storm together and come out stronger." Sarah and Tom never let the difficulties of life pull them apart. Instead, they grew closer and more united. Years passed, and Sarah and Tom grew old together. They still lived in their small, cozy house, surrounded by the garden they had tended for so many years. Their love had weathered many storms, but it remained as strong as ever. Sarah continued to be the good wife, always thinking of Tom and others before herself. One day, a young couple from the village came to visit Sarah and Tom. They asked for advice on how to build a strong and loving marriage. Sarah smiled and said, "The secret is to always support each other, no matter what life brings. Love, kindness, and teamwork are the keys to a happy life." Tom nodded in agreement and added, "And never forget to say thank you and show appreciation for each other every day. It's the little things that make the biggest difference." The young couple left feeling inspired and grateful for the wisdom they had received. As the sun set behind the mountains, Sarah and Tom sat on their porch, holding hands and watching the sky turn orange and pink. They were content, knowing that they had lived a life full of love and togetherness. They had been through many challenges, but they had faced them all side by side. Sarah knew that she had been a good wife, not because of the things she did, but because of the love she gave. And Tom knew that he was a better man because of Sarah's support and kindness. They had created a beautiful life together, one filled with love, respect, and mutual care. In the end, Sarah and Tom showed that a good marriage is built on more than just love. It's about being there for each other, working together, and never giving up, no matter how tough things get. And so, they lived out their days in peace and happiness, grateful for the life they had built together. The villagers would always remember them as the couple who showed everyone what it meant to be truly committed to one another. Sarah's legacy as a good wife lived on, teaching others that with love and support, anything is possible. Moral of the story: true love is about standing by each other through every challenge, working together, and always showing kindness and appreciation. Thank you for watching and listening. Your support truly means the world to me. I hope you found the content enjoyable and engaging. I'm excited to continue this journey with you and share even more in the future. Your encouragement inspires me to keep creating and improving.